Good afternoon. This is All India Radio and I am Valsa Williams with the midday news. The headlines. Maharashtra and Haryana go to assembly polls on 21st October, counting of votes on 24th October. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on his way to United States on a 7-day visit to attend the UN General Assembly. External Affairs Minister S Jaishankar holds talks on terrorism and regional issues with Finnish Leadership. Moody's Investor Service terms Centre's decision to cut corporate tax rate as credit positive move. And in boxing, Asian champion Amit Panghal to take on Shakhobidin Zoirov of Uzbekistan in the finals of the World Men's Championship in Russia today. Assembly elections in Maharashtra and Haryana will be held on the 21st of October and the counting of votes will take place on 24th October. Announcing the poll schedule in New Delhi today, Chief Election Commissioner Sunil Arora said the election process in both the states will be completed by the 27th of October. Maharashtra has 288 seats and Haryana has 90 seats. The 5-year term of the Legislative Assembly of Haryana will expire on the 2nd of November and Maharashtra on the 9th of November. Mr. Arora said special security arrangements have been made in Naxal-affected areas.
Special security arrangements will be done for LWE affected areas, for example, Gadchiroli and Gondia in Maharashtra. Adequate CCTV coverage and webcasting in polling stations in sensitive areas will be ensured. All the police checkposts across the state will be under 24/7 webcasting, videography for the entire period of elections.
Keeping in view the hazardous impact on the environment, he asked political parties to avoid use of plastic in their campaigns.
The election campaigns often impose an environmental cost upon us. The Commission appeal to reject plastic and use only environment-friendly material in the election campaign.
The Model Code of Conduct in these states has come into force with immediate effect. Notification will be issued on the 27th of this month and the last date for filing nominations will be the 4th of October. Scrutiny will be held on 5th October and the last date for withdrawal of the nomination will be the 7th of October. By-elections to 64 assembly constituencies across the country will be held simultaneously on the 21st of October and counting on the 24th of October. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on his way to the United States on a 7-day visit to attend the UN General Assembly meet and various other programs. He made a brief halt in Frankfurt en route, USA this morning. This year, the UN General Assembly has the theme Galvanizing Multilateral Efforts for Poverty Eradication, Quality Education, Climate Action and Inclusion. In his pre-departure statement, the Prime Minister reiterated India's commitment to reformed multilateralism, which is responsive, effective and inclusive. Mr. Modi said through his participation in UN events, he will showcase India's success in realizing the Sustainable Development Goals. Prime Minister Modi will address the Indian community at Houston tomorrow, where he will be joined by US President Donald Trump. Mr. Modi said the maiden appearance of the US President in an Indian community event marks a new milestone in India's outreach to them. As the Prime Minister arrives in Houston about 10 hours from now, the Indian American community is all geared up to welcome him in the energy capital of USA. More from our correspondent in Houston.
Shared Dreams, Bright Future is the theme for Howdy Modi event and aptly for the Indian Americans who have worked hard for over 3 months to give it the final shape. India is important and it has been reflected by President Trump joining the mega diaspora event. Some analysts in US have also linked it to the ambitions of Republicans to garner votes from Indian Americans in the upcoming US presidential elections next year. The two leaders are also expected to take a call on trade-related matters. Giving a go-ahead, Houston weather seems to be settling down to have yet another round of display of bonhomie between Prime Minister Modi and President Trump after G20 and G7 summits this year. Atul Tiwari, AR News, Houston.
The Indian-American community in Sugarland, Greater Houston, is quite upbeat hours ahead of the arrival of Prime Minister Modi in the city. Children and their parents showed their enthusiasm with chants of Bharat Mata Ki Jai and Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram! Vande Mataram! Bharat Mata Ki Jai! Bharat Mata Ki Jai!
We are all very excited. There are a lot of people are lining up to volunteer for the event. A lot of people are very excited. It's a very proud moment for Houstonians in general. We are all excited. It's really a unique event when all great leaders are meeting together.
I'm just expecting that he would speak more about Indo-American relationships. We can improve our trade. That's going to be main talking point.
The Prime Minister will also interact with CEOs of leading energy companies in Houston. At a UN event on universal health coverage, the Prime Minister will share India's achievements in providing health care for the needy through many initiatives, including the Ayushman Bharat program. Prime Minister Modi will be honoured with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation's Global Goalkeeper Award during this visit. The award recognizes his leadership in the field of sanitation through Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Moody's Investor Service today termed the central government's decision to cut corporate tax rate as a credit-positive move. The rating agency said the tax cut would give a boost to the net income of Indian firms. Speaking to media, Senior Vice President of the Moody's Investor Service, Vikas Halan, said that eventual impact of the corporate tax cut on credit profiles of Indian corporates will hinge on whether they utilize the surplus earnings for reinvestment in business, debt reduction, or high shareholder returns. Moody's said the cut in corporate tax is credit positive for companies because it will enable them to generate higher post-tax incomes. The government yesterday slashed the income tax rate for companies by almost 10 percentage points to 25.17% and offered a lower rate to 15.01% for new manufacturing firms to boost economic growth. The U.S. corporate sector has lauded the Indian government for substantially slashing the income tax rate to 25.17%. President of U.S.-India Strategic and Partnership Forum, Mukesh Aghi, told media that the move will make Indian companies globally competitive and allow global companies a good option for growing their manufacturing base in the country. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
बेटा कहाँ चले?
मैं चला पार्क। वहाँ होंगे कॉलोनी के सारे बच्चे। हम सब मिलकर चलाएंगे स्वच्छता का अभियान। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा है
हम 2 अक्टूबर से पहले लगभग 2 सप्ताह तक देश भर में स्वच्छता ही सेवा अभियान चलाते हैं। इस बार यह 11 सितंबर से शुरू होगा। इस दौरान हम अपने अपने घरों से बाहर निकलकर श्रमदान के जरिए महात्मा गांधी को कार्यांजलि देंगे। पूरे देश में प्लास्टिक के खिलाफ एक नए जन आंदोलन की नींव रखेंगे।
स्वच्छता का ये अभियान चलाना है और सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक को हटाना है।
External Affairs Minister S Jaishankar has held long discussions on cross-border terrorism with the top Finnish leadership in Helsinki. The discussions were held amid Pakistan's bid to peddle fabricated stories on Kashmir after India revoked Jammu and Kashmir's special status. The External Affairs Minister is on a 3-day visit to Finland, the current chair of the European Union that supported India on the Kashmir issue. Mr. Jaishankar yesterday held talks with Prime Minister Antti Rinne and his Finnish counterpart Pekka Haavisto on a broad spectrum of bilateral relations. Mr. Jaishankar tweeted that during his meeting with Haavisto, they had a long discussion on terrorism. The two leaders reviewed the bilateral relationship with special focus on green technologies. They also exchanged notes on regional issues. Pakistani troops have yet again violated ceasefire in the border districts of Rajouri and Poonch in Jammu and Kashmir by targeting Indian forward posts and civilian areas along the line of control. Defence spokesperson told AIR Jammu that Pakistani troops initiated unprovoked firing of small arms and shelling with mortars in Balakot sector of Poonch and Naushera in Rajouri, drawing a befitting reply from the Indian Army. More from our correspondent.
Pakistan first violated the ceasefire in Nowshera sector from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. last night, followed by firing of small arms and shelling with mortars in Balakot from 11:45 p.m. to 2 a.m. Pakistani troops again resorted to unprovoked and indiscriminate firing by targeting Shahpur and Kerni sectors in district Poonch at 9:45 hours today. There was no report of any casualty in the Pakistani firing on the Indian side. According to official sources this year, Pakistan violated the ceasefire over 2,050 times, leaving 21 Indians dead and scores of others injured. India has repeatedly called upon Pakistan to ask its forces to adhere to the 2003 ceasefire understanding and maintain peace and tranquility along the line of control and the international border. R.K. Raina, AR News, Jammu.
In Uttar Pradesh, mobile app of Rashtriya Bal Swasthya Karyakram has made screening and referral of malnourished children easy. During the first fortnight of Poshan Maha in the state, a total of 8,405 children have been identified and referred using this app. AIR correspondent reports that majority of these identified children were suffering from vitamin A deficiency, while some had low hemoglobin and vitamin D. A report.
The General Manager of Rashtriya Bal Swasthya Karyakram said that the mobile app is very useful for the children living in far-flung areas. App has made easy the identification of 38 different congenital diseases. All the information of disease is uploaded in the app with the picture and details of the child, which can be checked and tracked by doctors and administration anytime. Follow-up of each and every child is also updated timely. Out of the identified malnourished children in the state during Poshan Maha, more than 1,000 children were found highly malnourished and referred after their screening to the app. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
This is All India Radio giving you the news.
आज हम मिलेंगे इस गांव की पहली लड़की से जिसने मेडिकल एग्जाम क्लियर करके अपने परिवार का ही नहीं बल्कि पूरे गांव का नाम रोशन किया है। बधाई हो सपना। थैंक यू। तैयारी तो सब करते हैं, लेकिन आपने ऐसी क्या खास तैयारी की?
खास तैयारी तो बाबा ने की।
बाबा ने?
4 साल पहले बाबा ने घर पे इज्जत घर बनवाया, तब से बाहर नहीं जाना पड़ा और मैं स्वस्थ और सुरक्षित रह पाई और चैन से पढ़ाई कर पाई। इसी से मेरी तैयारी की शुरुआत हुई।
इज्जत घर के इस्तेमाल से सपना की तरह कई और जिंदगियां बदल रही हैं। इसलिए इज्जत घर का इस्तेमाल करते रहिए, हर कोई, हर रोज, हमेशा।
पेयजल एवं स्वच्छता विभाग, जल शक्ति मंत्रालय, भारत सरकार द्वारा जनहित में जारी।
Railway Minister of Bangladesh Mohammad Noorul Islam Sujan and High Commissioner of India Riva Ganguly Das today laid the foundation stone at Chilahati in Bangladesh for undertaking the work of upgradation and laying of missing tracks from Chilahati to the border with India near Huldibari. The 7.5-kilometer long railway track will help in providing connectivity from West Bengal into Assam via Bangladesh. Construction of immigration and customs post will also be done on it. On completion, this will provide a big boost to trade, travel and tourism between Bangladesh and India. In boxing, Asian champion Amit Panghal will today take on reigning Olympic champion Shakhobidin Zoirov of Uzbekistan in the finals of the World Men's Championship in Ekaterinburg, Russia. Second seed Panghal became the first Indian to reach the finals, beating Kazakhstan's Saken Bebosinov 3-2 and 52 kilogram category in the last four stage yesterday. Panghal has assured himself of at least a silver medal. Manish Kaushik, the other Indian pugilist to reach the semi-finals, signed off with a bronze medal after going down to top-seeded Cuban Andy Gomez Cruz 0-5 in the 63 kilogram category. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Maharashtra and Haryana go to assembly polls on 21st October, counting of votes on 24th October. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on his way to United States on a 7-day visit to attend the UN General Assembly. External Affairs Minister S Jaishankar holds talks on terrorism and regional issues with Finnish Leadership. Moody's investor service terms Centre's decision to cut corporate tax rate as credit positive move. And in boxing, Asian champion Amit Panghal to take on Shakhobidin Zoirov of Uzbekistan in the finals of the World Men's Championship in Russia today. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com. And with that, we end the midday news.